Hello friends, this is Dr. Mamta Jagannath Jirathi. In this video, we will discuss about the process costing. Process costing is a form of operations costing which is used where standardized or homogeneous goods are produced. Process costing is used for the same type of production. This costing method is used in industries like rubber industries, sugar industries, chemical industries, textile industries, steel industries, or petrol industries likewise. Cost of production during a particular period is divided by the number of units produced during that period to arrive at the cost per unit. In process costing, we are going to calculate the cost per unit of the product. There are some definitions given. We will see the definition given by Kohler. According to Kohler, process costing is a method of costing whereby costs are charged to processes or operations and averaged over units produced. Cost Institute of Management and Accountant. According to it, process costing is the costing method applicable where goods or services result from a sequence of continuous or repetitive operations or processes. Costs are averaged over the units produced during that period. Now, while discussing about process costing, we have to understand some basic terminologies. Let us understand one by one. The first term we have to discuss is normal loss. Normal loss is generally called as normal expected wastage. Normal wastage during the production is termed as normal loss. Normal expected wastage under usual operating conditions. It may be due to evaporation, due to testing, or due to rejection, or due to less or more weights while producing the product. So, the difference between these is termed as normal loss or normal wastage. Next term we have to discuss abnormal loss. A loss occurred over and above the normal expected loss. Now, normal expected loss or normal wastage is considered, but when the normal loss or normal wastage is overcome, the loss is termed as abnormal loss. As faulty machinery or errors of laborers is the reasons for abnormal loss. Next term is abnormal gain. The actual loss is lower than the normal loss. Efficiency of newly purchased machinery is generally more than that of older machineries. So, the actual loss is lower than the normal loss. Next term is work in progress. Work in progress is one of the most important terms in process costing. Units that are not yet complete at the end of the period. Process costing is also one of the major term which we use in our process costing is work in progress. There are two types of work in progress: opening work in progress and closing work in progress. Next term is scrap value. The outcome of a loss can be sold for a small value. Now, whenever we occurred with some loss or we occurred with some damages, at that time we try to sell out this product at a scrap value. Whatever we are earning from these materials or whatever we are earning from this loss is termed as scrap value. Next term is equivalent units. A conversion of part completed units into an equivalent number of wholly completed units. Here I have given one example, that is, if we are producing 1000 cars and out of it only 40% cars are completed, then the equivalent number of completed cars would be 400 cars. That is 1000 cars into 40% works, it comes to 400 cars completion. Now we will discuss about some features of the process account or process costing. For process costing, there should be a continuous production. Products must be homogeneous and standardized. There should be different stages of production, that is, there must be a different processes for the product. Products are not distinguishable in process costing. For each process, we have to maintain a separate account. Normal and abnormal losses may arise in the process. Now we will discuss about the application of process costing. Process costing is applicable where production is standardized. It is applicable when production is continuous and undertaken on a large scale basis. When the output is uniform and all units are exactly identical during one or more processes, process costing is used. And when the output of one process becomes the input of next process, process costing is in operation. Process costing is applicable where it is not possible to distinguish the product during the processing stage. There is a difference between job costing and process costing. As in job costing, production is against customers' specific orders, whereas in process costing, production is a continuous process. In job costing, production is not for stock, but in process costing, production is for stock. In job costing, each job is different from others, whereas in process costing, units produced are homogeneous or identical to each other. There is no regular transfer of cost from one job to another in job costing, and there is always a transfer of cost from one process to subsequent process, going on processes, in process costing. Costs are accumulated for each job in job costing, but in process costing, costs are accumulated for each process for a particular period. In job costing, work in progress may exist or may not exist, whereas in process costing, work in progress is always in existence. Let us have a glimpse on the advantages of process costing. The cost of each process can be easily computed by process costing. Hence, the products are homogeneous. It is very easy to compute average cost. It is possible to ascertain the cost periodically at short intervals. The accounting system is simple and is less expensive compared to job costing. Process costing is less expensive. Process costing helps to measure the efficiency of each process, and it is very easy to exercise effective control over production. As we have seen the advantages of process costing, there are some limitations of process costing also, as it is very difficult to value work in progress. It is not easy to value losses, wastages and scraps arises during the production or during the processing. It is difficult to apportion total cost among joint products and byproducts. The next limitation is process costs are only average costs. These are not accurate. Process costs are only historical. These are not of much use of effective control. When more than one product is produced, calculation of cost per unit becomes difficult under process costing. Now, let us proceed to the procedure of process costing. How we have to use process costing. Separate process account is opened for each process. Besides particulars column, two columns are provided on both the sides, that is debit side and credit side. The process account units, that is quantity of the units, and amount, that is rupees is written in that columns. All the expenses are debited in respective process account. Wastages, sale of scrap, byproducts, these are recorded on the credit side of the process account. The difference between debit side and credit side shows the cost of production and output of that particular process which is going to transfer to the next process. The cost per unit in every process is calculated by dividing the net cost by the output. The output of last process is transferred to the finished stock account. Incomplete units at the end of each period is every process is converted in terms of completed units. Now, how to prepare process accounts? The preparation is very simple. Simple process account has to be opened. Process costing with normal process losses. Process costing with abnormal process losses. Process costing with process gains. Valuation of work in progress. Inter-process profits and joint product or by-product costing, that is final product costing. Here I have given one format of process account. In you can see there are two sides. First side, debit side, where all the expenses have been written, and credit side, normal loss, abnormal loss. Process second, that is output transferred to the next process, whatever the process name is. Next process account, here we are writing the next the output transferred to the next process, and lastly the closing stock of the particular process. And likewise we have to make several processes up to when the product is passing up to the finished product. Now we will discuss about process losses. Process loss is that quantity lost in the process by way of waste or scrap or spoilage. The process loss is classified into two, that is normal process loss and abnormal process loss. As we have been discussed earlier, let's once again discuss about normal process loss. Normal loss is the loss which is unavoidable and it is arised under normal condition. It is calculated as certain percentage of input. Here one formula is given about the calculation of normal loss in weight. Opening stock plus output from preceding process minus output of the concerned process plus closing stock. It results into the normal loss. Scrap, sometimes normal loss may have some realizable value. Then the loss is called scrap. Some value can be realized and we can overcome our loss by the scrap value. Next term is abnormal loss. When actual loss in the process is greater than the estimated normal loss, is greater than our consideration, it is known as abnormal loss. Thus, loss over and above normal loss or loss beyond normal loss is called abnormal loss. Now, abnormal loss can be calculated by the following formula. Abnormal loss is equal to actual wastage minus normal wastage, or it may be calculated by normal output minus actual output. Value of abnormal loss is calculated by another formula also, that is normal cost of normal output into units of abnormal loss normal output. Value of normal output can be calculated by total expenditure minus sale proceeds of scrap, and normal output can be calculated by input minus units of normal loss. There is a difference between normal loss and abnormal loss. Now, normal loss is unavoidable. Normal loss is considerable, whereas abnormal loss is avoidable. Normal loss is of recurring nature whereas abnormal loss is accidental in nature. Normal loss can be estimated in advance, whereas abnormal loss cannot be estimated in advance. Normal loss is found as input into expected percentage of normal loss, whereas abnormal loss found as input normal loss actual output. If it waste, it is recorded in the quantity column on the credit of the process account. If it is scrap, the sale of scrap is recorded in the quantity column and value column on the credit of process account. When we suffer from normal loss, but when we suffer abnormal loss, the realizable value of scrap is credited to abnormal loss account. Normal loss cost is treated as part of cost of product and is absorbed by output. But in abnormal loss, cost is not treated as part of cost of product and is charged to costing profit and loss account. Normal loss is non-insurable loss, whereas abnormal loss can be insured or it can be insurable. Now, here I have given one example of normal loss. You can go through the example. Let us discuss about the abnormal gain. As we have discussed about the abnormal loss and normal loss, now we will see abnormal gain. Sometimes actual loss or wastage in a process is less than expected normal loss. Whatever we have considered, our actual loss is less than it, and in this case abnormal gain occurs, or we achieve or we gain in production. Value of abnormal gain can be calculated by normal cost of normal output into units of abnormal gain normal output. There are several formulas to use and to calculate abnormal gain. I hope this video can help you to solve the examples of process accounting and to use the process accounting into your business. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for my channel. Thank you very much.